Hello, hello, hello. Yeah, Margie, si que I can start the meeting.
No va a venir el judge.
Ay, ay, ay.
Dura. No va a venir el judge.
No, we did.
He just called.
That's what I had to start it, but you have to start them.
Yeah, no. Yeah, no, he just called me right now. You know, I need- Señor, how you doing, sir? ¿Cómo estás? Hey, Margie. How you doing?
I don't have to address this, no? It's not on the agenda. This is something about the fire department.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can put it on the agenda next time.
1:30.
Okay.
Renee said she was
Okay.
gonna be-
Renee's coming. Okay. Commissioners Court of Jimos County is now in session. Please rise for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag
of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation,
under
under
God,
God,
Indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
for all.
under the Texas flag,
flag.
pledge allegiance
to
thee,
Texas, one state, under God, one and indivisible.
Okay, line item number 3, public testimony. Anybody not in the agenda may appear.
Good morning, or good afternoon, Commissioners. This is Sheriff Bueno. How are y'all doing?
Wait a minute.
Good, good. Just want to report that we have approximately 48 inmates with 6 females. We had an operation yesterday that turned out very good with Border Patrol and the Southern District of the county. There were 23 arrests, 20 of them got away. Of course, it's one of the biggest problems this nation's having are the southern borders. On another note, we had another arrest this morning with over 90 grams of methamphetamine. Our DEA officer has already picked the individual up and he is headed to Corpus for prosecution. That's all we have. There's no training this week. I know we're expecting some weather, so we're prepared.
Thank you, Sheriff.
Hey, Sheriff.
Anybody else?
Thank you.
I am Mary Lozano, the tax assessor and collector, and I'm
Can you remove?
I'm here to give you a little update of my office. As you are aware, it's been cutting down a little bit, long lines of the constituents trying to get their stickers that waited a year and a half to get them. And they wanted to get them like that, and it was impossible, of course. But anyway, so far this week, this past week, it has been slowed down. So I believe hopefully everybody has already gotten it. Then you are aware that I close on Wednesdays. And the reason I was closing Wednesdays is because we had over 350 titles to work on. And during this time of long lines, we did not have the time to work on the title work. So we got really, really behind that many titles. So we were working on Wednesday and working on Saturday also, trying to catch up with all of that. Hopefully by the first week of June, we're up to date with the titles. And on the second week of June, we will be opening the 2 satellite offices, the Orange Grove office and the Fremont office. That'll be the second week. This coming Saturday will be our last Saturday to work because I believe we're about caught up, Also, I want to thank commissioners and of course the judge for letting me have the security. Sometimes during the afternoon or in the morning, they would go and help us because the lines were so long. People got a little bit upset because they were waiting too long. And they were a great, great big help. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Anybody else? Okay, we'll proceed to line item number 4. Consider and take action to hire a consultant to administer and coordinate funds received through the 2021 American Rescue Act.
So I put this item on the agenda because we're going to be receiving a substantial, well, what, $7.8 million. And I know that the judge's office is already overwhelmed with grant paperwork and their own day-to-day stuff that they need to do along with the auditor's office. And because it's a substantial amount of money, I believe that we need to bring in somebody to coordinate it and manage it and inform us as to what we can do, can't do with it, and inform the constituents of monies that's available for them also. I have kind of made, I had passed out a description for the office. I gave one to Noe, gave one to the commissioners. So that's, how do you all feel?
I think, go ahead, Commissioner Gonzalez. Your comments?
I don't have a problem getting anybody as long as we do it fairly, that we put it out for bids. I mean, not for bids, but openly to the public to be able to have as many people apply for it. And then we gotta be able to set a salary on it before we go out and bids on it. I agree, it's gonna be an overwhelming amount of money coming in, and we could use a lot of advice from somebody who knows well how to deal with this amount of money.
Would it be like an employee for the county? Or they're gonna be just administering it, correct?
It would be whatever.
We don't have that department set up, it's not budgeted, so until, unless there's a budget amendment, it would have to be in the form of a contract labor consultant.
Yeah. I mean, it's however we can handle it, but
Yeah, and if you do it that way, then that implicates, it's called Chapter 2254 of the Texas Government Code, and it does require a request for proposals. So, and I guess the fee structure is gonna be one of the most important parts, and that would be part of, whenever we write up the RFP, say they include, what kind of fee structure they're looking at, or, and I guess it would be the services not only for the Rescue Act, but we've got a few other grants that,
right.
Could use some help too. And of course, GrantWorks has theirs, those are usually through, for the water and wastewater. But this would be primarily for the Rescue Act, but, there's other departments that could use some help.
Yes, I agree with you, hon.
And it would not be, it would be for all the county, every precinct, every, whatever. I'm sure, I'm just gonna say, if I would call her and tell her, is there something for whatever? And she could look and help me find something for that.
So this is not just for this money coming in, you're talking about having like a grant administrator for the whole county?
Right.
Is that what you're saying?
Yes,
Okay,
yes.
Commissioner,
Because
you
also,
you
there's
want to comment?
fixing,
I think it'd be great if we had somebody to come in and work on grants, because sometimes there's not time.
Yeah, this particular one just will work on the Recovery Act for the most part. I think that we shouldn't make a decision today. I think we should,
Well, we're not
we can, Michael can consult us to where we need to, the direction we need to take. And I want to give you a few days or whatever it takes to do that. I think we're in no hurry because I think we can utilize this money until 2024, Michael.
2024, but
Yeah.
the money that
Yeah, okay,
I
but
don't know if we have, there's a portal set up, and there's two numbers that you have, the county has to have set up. Do we have those already? Okay.
Yeah.
But, I think it would be a benefit to have a
What?
centralized person instead of, Linda does a little, I get a little bit of the legal, Margie does some, and Noe, the auditor, everybody's kind of doing a little bit, but there's sometimes that,
Yeah, yeah.
things get overdue or whatever, because there's no centralized accountability.
Yeah, but we need to come up with a plan that we can identify the right person,
Yes.
so that's why I would hesitate to make a decision today.
And a lot of the other counties are hiring somebody to do this, okay? But I just wanna make sure, we wanna hire somebody to be grant administrator for the whole county for everything going on.
Yes.
Yeah.
Which is fine, but like at this point, we don't have it in the budget. It could be changed with a budget amendment, but we have to bring it to court and set everything. Unless it's just gonna be for that one project, and we could have them as a consultant. But,
I think it's,
I also believe that we need a person. I just don't think that, we need to rush into it. I think we need to make sure that we get somebody that can work with everybody and,
that's what Michael was saying. According to that, we need to go out.
For RFP.
right.
RFP, and it's a 30-day RFP, so if we can get the wording posted, I'm looking at June 25th is our second meeting of June. So we have to post by mid-25th, the RFP, and then, have them come in, because one of the ideas is for the person's own salary to be paid at 4 hours,
Right.
if that's possible. I don't know if it is or it isn't, if that's a reimbursable expense or not.
'Cause
It does say that it's a.
so we're not gonna have, so why can't we announce it already since we're gonna meet the deadline of May 25th to go out for RFPs?
I'm sorry, what?
Why can't we go ahead and make a decision right
We
now?
can
to
make
go
a
ahead?
motion to
Go
begin
ahead
the
and-
process.
Oh, yeah, we can begin the
Yeah,
process.
Yeah, so we can start the process.
Yeah, we can
And
begin the
then once
process.
we get more information, so we can advertise for it.
Right, and then, we put the language together, get it posted, and then you've got until June, whatever, the 25th, to make the decision.
Yeah.
Yes.
He's gonna post what, the recommendation what we need in a person.
Right.
What the
But-
qualifications and stuff like that.
I'm gonna make the motion that we begin the process needed
With an RFP,
with an RFP to get a consultant to administer our grants.
I'll second.
Okay, there's a motion and a second. All in favor indicate by saying aye.
All right.
Aye.
All opposed, same sign. Ayes have it. Okay, line item number 5, consider and take action on road equipment rotation.
So again,
I may want to go look at it. I may want to go look at it. Oh, you got it? Okay.
You got it?
so we wanted to meet so that we could discuss the rotation of the equipment. Right now, Huicho has it and he's had it since October. And so the schedule is that I would get it June and July, and then Ventura would get it August, September. And then Renee would get it October and she would release it the end of February. And then the next person would start March, April, which we would just be rotating the precinct so that every precinct will get the opportunity to get it from September through the end of February, which is most of the time you get a lot of use out of it because it's not very cold. We've had some rain lately, but before that we were in a lack of rain. So open for discussion.
Commissioner Wisha?
I respect the fact that everybody's trying to do a calendar type deal. The only reason that I disagree with it, that I feel that we're in here for the betterment of the whole county, not just a certain precincts or any precinct. In order for us to keep it 6, 7 months apiece, it's just too long of a time for us to try to do anything. If you get bad weather in between that time, you're shot. My advice for everybody is that for us to go into a unified road system where just that group will seal coat roads. We prep the roads in each precinct. They go around seal coating every road, and that machine will never stop. For example, right now we're prepping a road. The truck's parked right now. That truck shouldn't be parked. It could have been doing your road, so we could have done that area over there. And then everybody's prepping, and it's just rotating. That truck will never stop. And unified road system, everybody puts two people from every precinct. We get the group to do it, and that's all they're going to do when it's going to be done, and that's all they're doing. In the meantime, if they're not doing anything, go back to your crew. But that's the best way. So that way we can keep touching up every single precinct throughout the whole year instead of me having it 6 months. I'm going to get in December. We only work 2 weeks in December. So then you got bad weather. You're shot December, October, November, December, January should be out of the calendar. So what I'm trying to say is, in order for it to be fair for everybody, we prep our own roads, and then that unified road system crew will just go around seal coating every road as they're ready. So if Ms. Chapa's ready, go to your place. If I'm ready, go to your place. If you're ready, you go to your place. Because we're not gonna do 10 miles, 20 miles of it. We're doing sections. And so 1 or 2 miles at the most. So if you think about it, move it around. Don't stop that truck from seal coating roads. And to me, you would accomplish a lot more, a lot faster. Because by the time you order your material, by the time you get your prepping, that truck's parked right there. It could have been somewhere else. And I don't like the fact that it's parked. Like I said,
But you don't have
we
to
did a
have
little
it
bit of road
parked.
yesterday, last
You
week.
can use it to do potholes.
Well, you see, it's too much truck for that. We have a pothole. You have a pothole truck. So to me, it's a lot easier if you have that truck using it what it's for, to seal coat the roads, because not everybody. If you tear a whole road completely, it's going to take you a week or so before you prep it. So that truck's going to be parked right there. So if I have it for 6 months, by the time you use it, bad weather and all, you're only going to use it 2-3 weeks, and that's the most, because either bad weather or prepping. So my deal is try to do it to where it's one group running that equipment at all times, and that way it's a lot safer, a lot easier. I have a skid steer that I bought. We've had it for 2 years. Same guy operates it. Never had a problem with it. We don't pass it from hand to hand. It stays with one guy. He takes care, does the maintenance, does everything to it. And the same thing here. We should have that group to where that group runs that equipment, and they're the only ones. Margie, you have a great operator. I have a good operator. We can go around. We don't need to train 6 different people. We just need to concentrate on those people, and they go around doing it for everybody as we prep the roads. And you can get a lot. I feel that we can get a lot faster.
But
A
every
lot more than
time,
faster.
Commissioner, you go ahead.
Okay, sorry.
Yeah,
But if you constantly moving and moving and moving, you're wasting a lot of the manpower, you're wasting diesel, you're having to transport the equipment. Uh, I'm for every 2 months. You know, everybody have it for every 2 months. You only have to move the machine like 3 times in the year.
Well, you're gonna have to move it regardless. To me, the chip spreader, I don't quite need the chip spreader that much. We have a box spreader. It's the oil distributor. That's the one that I need. And I'm fine not having to use the chip spreader if I have to. And I mean, if Margie has it, I can drive it right there. If it's over here, ni modo, it doesn't matter. I don't have to have it. The one that I need is the chip spreader. I mean, the oil distributor, and that drive is it's a truck. So I just feel that you could get a lot more done a lot faster throughout constantly everybody prepping, everybody moving. It's like the assembly line. You don't stop. You just keep going. Same thing here. Somebody preps, somebody sugarcoats. We can't do everything ourselves. If we prep, it takes me longer to prep. Like I said, right now we're prepping a road that truck's parked. It'll be parked 2 days. If I get rain the next day, 3 days. We could have already done 2/10, 1 mile, 2 miles, or whatever. If you're ready, you know how it goes. It'll go fast. And to me, it's the best way to do it.
Margie?
Well, I agree that we could have a road, a crew, but for right now, I think we should go with the months until we create the crew, and I don't know if we need to,
You know,
it's something that we
Cre-
have to
you know,
create.
creating a road crew, I cannot afford it. Basically, my budget won't be able to afford it. I only have, a crew of 5.
And I respect that, Mr. Garcia, and that's fine. I'm the biggest precinct in here, and I don't have a problem sending my crews out there to go chip seal a road. I don't have a problem with that, because all you need is a distributor and a chip spreader. The other guys can be anybody.
I like your idea.
Idea.
I just
Yeah, no,
I can't
and
even- I
I
can't even
understand.
forbid it.
Not everybody can afford the manpower, and perhaps maybe I do. I don't have as many people as the guy that was there before me, but I can still have the people to operate the system.
I mean,
You
but
know, you
we
need-
could
because-
hire a road crew because
Well, I wasn't going to go there because
You
I
know,
don't feel that we
to
need to go
hire-
through that expense.
to
I feel that
hire-
the people
to-
within,
to
you
hire-
got a great distributor, operator, and a chip spreader. The guys are great. I got some people they picked it up, they're learning, that are doing it. But if you put those people together, they all can work together and get this thing done without having to. If it breaks down, they can get something going because they're familiar with it. I'm not going to put that expense through Mr. Garcia that his people don't know how to operate this machine, and you have to learn like we did last year. We had to learn it, and it just became extremely hard for us to be able to produce anything because it was a learning process. Same thing with Renee. We're going to go throw these things to the people. It's going to take you a whole long time before you learn it and to master it. We still haven't mastered it, and we're still having to go back. And why not create one group, and that same group would just seal code the whole roads, and you don't have to worry about anybody else knowing. You can keep doing what you're doing over there. Let's seal code. Same thing what I do with Fremont. When Fremont goes, I tell the mayor, let your people do the water leaks, whatever. I'll go do the roads. Don't worry about it. My crew will take care of that. And that's the way we do it. And you get to do a lot more, a lot faster. That's the way I feel it is. And I think it's pretty solid.
RG. You expressed that we could hire a road crew and we can't.
well, I mean, not right. That's why I'm saying. That's why I'm
Because,
just saying we go with this.
If
for now.
we hire a road crew, it has to go through budget hearings
Right.
and it has to come out of the road and bridge budget.
Right.
And I can't afford to lose any more of my funds.
Look, the thing is that we're not seal coating roads every single day. That's why I say if you put your people, not put my people, you're going to seal code maybe 2 weeks out of the month, and then the summertime we're going to do a lot more probably. But it's not every single day that we're doing that.
But
It's
we
like
should- but like right now,
like for instance, you right now you have that. What is it? 147.
147 and
Okay, it's
170
ready to go, right? It's what is it? A mile?
a mile.
Okay, it's a mile. That's going to take a day and a half.
Right.
So that's it. Have you? What else is ready? What else is prepped already?
But you
gotta go
had the
prep,
truck
that's it.
parked, and you didn't call me to say you can
No,
go.
I told you the other day. I said, Marty, let me go throw it for you. I'll go shoot it for you.
But I mean,
I said, I'll go shoot it. I don't want the truck parked. I hate to see the truck parked right there because I know somebody else can use it. The thing is, I'm prepping something, so I need it right back. I said, I'll go shoot it for you, and we'll bring it right back to us. I don't have a problem with that. And I'm open for all that. Like I said, I want to help fix the whole county, not just my precinct. It's everybody's precinct, let's fix the whole thing. But we got to be fair about it. And I just don't think that we should deprive the people in Orange Grove for 7 months or the people in Fremont for 7 months because the truck's been somewhere else. I know the feeling. I was there last year. I was without a machine. In May, it's going to be a year that the Palito Blanco has been sitting with the material, sitting right there for 1 year, and I didn't have the equipment. And then when we got the equipment, the weather came back, it broke down. I have a stack of bills right here that total about $15,000 that we put into those equipment. And I'm asking, okay, it belongs to the county. Somebody needs to help me pay for this, but that's why you start putting it in different hands. People don't know how to operate it correctly. Something's going to happen. It's a major issue. It's going to get costly. We have the same people operate it.
I don't know how y'all are gonna vote. Y'all gonna vote however y'all want. But if you all do go to what we just said, I would suggest that we do not hire new people. Or we don't go out.
And I'm not suggesting hiring new people. We don't need to.
Yeah. That we use what we just say. Use the people that are using it, and we can save on that by having the same people on the machines. We don't have to, but the budget doesn't have to be increased, and we can use those people. But that's up to you all, but that's what I see. I think we could use the same people and not hire more.
If you're going to keep the equipment, you're going to use it to chip seal. So if I ask you for 2 people, then what are the rest of the people going to do? Keep doing whatever they're doing, and I broke my people apart when I took away the trash. I got the guy cutting the fence lines. We're still coating roads. We're cutting the grass. We're picking up household trash. We're picking up branches, and we're picking up bulk trash all at the same time because we spread out the people. We use in two-man crews, and we produce a lot more. And that's why I feel like you should just have that crew doing roads, and that's it. And I don't mind using my people as long as the equipment is moving around. It's you could produce a lot more, a lot faster.
I think Roel wanted to
Because,
say something.
Margie, excuse me, Mr. Garcia, like for instance, a lot of your roads don't need to be milled up or anything, right? They just seal coat. So that's a fast deal. You're gonna go out there, boom, you're gonna get it done in 1 week. You'll take care of 5-6 miles. Margie and myself over here, and I mean, maybe not yours so bad, but Margie's and myself, man, they're horrible. It's Mr. Pettis, you can vouch for that. The roads are horrible. We gotta put
Roads
the
are
zipper to them,
horrible. I mean-
and that's what takes us longer to take it to Mr. Garcia. You can go do 5 miles in a week. 6 miles easy because it's just seal coat.
Roel, did you want to comment?
He wanted to say
Yes,
something.
sir. This has to do with the same,
Blank?
what we're talking
Blank,
about.
That's a blank sheet.
The blank,
Oh, thank you.
It has a blank sheet.
Everybody got one?
they're all blank.
That's a blank. I guess it has a blank sheet after that.
You got one?
No, that's it. Thank you.
GC?
I don't know.
Okay, this
So,
is- There's two types.
It's a blank sheet.
I like the blank
Well,
sheet.
I'm gonna use one.
Okay, no problem. I'll look at this.
Okay, there's two types of things you use that truck for. I mean, very important. It's seal coat and surface treatment. There's a difference between seal coat and surface treatment. As Ms. Renee Kershaw, I talked to you about that. I gave you a surface treatment is whenever you do a road, you don't go do a seal coat on it because you're wasting money. We're throwing money away. You have to do a surface treatment, which is you put your oil and your number 5 ash rock. This is the standards. Pavement preservation utilizes a combination of preventive and routine maintenance with a heavy emphasis on prevention. You use that truck for prevention also. Thousands upon thousands of dollars are wasted annually due to trying to learn as we go. That's what I hear right now is we're learning as we're going. We're getting better. We're getting better. What we're doing is we're putting too much aggregate. Oh, it looks pretty, because we have too much, or we're not putting enough binder, or we're putting too much binder, which causes flushing. It happened on one of the roads over there where the oil was coming up. We're wasting a lot of money doing this, and we don't put enough. Then you're leaving area for the water to penetrate your bituminous, which is your binder. Also, with too much rock, you already have the oil is your seal. That seals everything. The only reason we have rock is for traction, for roadway, so the cars won't wear out your oil. But you have too much rock, what's going to happen is that other rocks are going to chip the other rock out. And now what you just did, you created a cavity. Water's going to penetrate. It's going to be permeable. Water's going to penetrate. It's going to go down into your base. And then boom, there you go. You got potholes. It's going to look pretty for a year, maybe a couple of months. And then after that, it's going to go back to what it was. We have the shoulders, a lot of times we'll do a road. I see the shoulders are still high. That road you just fixed, it's a river. It's all it's going to be when it get rain season. Or we don't have a crown, good crown. I've been seeing, they've been putting good crowns on them, but this is something of very importance. And most important of all, the asphalt road is only as strong as its base. It doesn't matter how pretty that asphalt looks. If that base is no good, which nobody here knows how to test their base. Like I've told Wicho, we don't have the tools. We need to get the tools, but the easiest way to do it is just get a sucker rod. And if it goes down with a hammer like nothing, we know that base is no good. It needs to be moved to the side and start working it again. And a lot of times I've noticed that the zipper will go in and it'll go too deep. It goes into the dirt. You just shot yourself in the foot if you're going to compact that. You got to get it all out and then compact in stages, lifts. It's called lifts. Compact in lifts, your sub base till you get to your base. Okay. Also an oil distributor and an aggregate spreader, or your box, your box spreader, sweepers, rollers, and all equipment should only be parked due to rain, extreme colds. If you go to the text dot item 316, it says requires that seal coat surface treatment be placed in the ambient temperature is 50 degrees and rising. A lot of people say we can't do it in the winter. Yes, we can. As long as we got 50 degrees and we know it's going to be 60, 70, we can do surface treatment and seal coating. The only time we can't, if it's 60 degrees and falling. If we know it's 60 in the morning
and by lunchtime it's gonna be 50, that's a negative. Routine maintenance. Our county, I believe, like Huicho's saying and Margie is saying, I believe we do need a consolidated road crew whose only mission is to ensure safety practices are done. You see people out there, they're not working safe. I mean, I'm constantly on everybody, but we're getting better. And the equipment is PMCS, preventive maintenance checks and services. Your equipment is only as good as you take care of it. And then the team be able to mobilize equipment without having the precincts or third party move the equipment. If I'm doing Huichos, I don't want to be using Renee's crew or Miss Margie's crew to be moving the equipment. They should be able to do it on their own. That they should have a CDL and have a float, so we don't be paying how much is that, Commissioner? $500 and plus every time we're moving that dispenser. Be able to shoot surface treatment, which is as soon as Miss Margie had finished at 147, somebody should have been able to gone over there, shoot oil and run that ash rock, and that road would be good through 3 months until you get to put a seal coat. All it's doing is just putting a good patch until you can get back and seal coat it. Seal coat roads that have been patched, leveled up, and ready to be done. Also, what we can use this truck for is for seal coating, which a seal coat consists of you go and you put chip and oil and chip on an existing paved road. That existing paved road needs to be properly patched, which is not circles, squared. It needs to be properly patched and then leveled up if we have to with cold mix. Once it's leveled up, then you throw a coat of seal coat on it. The supervisors should be able to effectively communicate with all commissioners, road and bridge foremen. Not none of this, well, I'm the commissioner to this, and she told me this or he told me that. They should be able to be biased and say, you know what, we're going to do this the fair way. Able to order the right amount of rock. A lot of times I've seen it, there's too much rock on the road. And then they run out of rock. Hey, we thought we had enough rock. Well, what happened is, we're throwing down too much rock. Find locations near the job that can be stockpiled. Instead of having to wait, he's going all the way to the yard to pick up the rock so he can deliver it all the way 5-6 miles away. And not deviate from procedures or best practices to save time. Be able to inspect the roads that are ready to shoot. You call me that the road's ready, then he needs to make sure that he can go over there and make sure the road's ready so he doesn't mobilize all his equipment and then the road's not even, it got wore out during the weekend. So my thing, is what I talked to Huicho, I talked to Ms. Margie, and I've talked to the judge, and everybody does want to consolidate, but sometimes we just have to put out a little bit to get the ball rolling. When I first started, no one wanted a road and bridge. Nobody wanted to do the chip sealing or surface treatment. Nobody did, but eventually y'all all got together, started doing it. And if we got one team that's only operating equipment, Noe gets on it. I don't know what Noe did to it. Then I come over here, I have to pay how much for a computer? $5,000 for a computer. Why should I have to pay for it if I just bought it from you and it's broken? It should be one consolidated. Everybody that wants to participate, put in that's just my 2 cents. And I hope y'all do get this road and bridge crew.
The computer broke,
It was $8,000.
but it broke.
Yes, the oil distributor. Too many people get in that truck. You have a great operator. I don't know if your operator does mañas to it, the bypasses or does things, doesn't keep the truck properly clean. You don't keep a truck cleaned, it's going to break down. You don't keep it oiled and maintained. That's what I wanted to let y'all know on that here. And that's it there, Huicho, Commissioner.
Thank you.
Anybody else?
And so where would they be stationed if we had a crew that worked on that?
Well, you really don't have to station them anywhere because it's wherever the last place the equipment's set at.
Oh.
And then wherever you got to move it, that's why we're utilizing our own people,
And then,
and basically what I'm talking about is like, you're going to have your 2 flag people, you're going to have your chip spreader and the oil guy. They're basically going to be the same roller and the sweeper. That's all you need. So 4 guys, 3 guys that can do it. You gotta have flag people, and And that's what I was saying. We could put two people apiece, one person each precinct, and that way we could set it up. And wherever the equipment is at, they follow. That's all there is to it.
And scheduling?
Whoever's ready, like Margie's ready right now.
I mean, so I can see, one to do the truck, right?
Yeah.
And one to do the dump truck. The dump truck for the
because
chip
basically-
seal, or the dump truck with
Yeah.
the
Okay, I
We
forgot
need
the
two
truck.
dump trucks.
chip box.
Yeah.
We need two dump trucks.
See, but for instance, like you have a dump truck, right? And Tuda has a dump truck. You have a dump. I have a dump truck. You put them all together, it becomes a lot faster. If I take my dump truck, you take your dump truck, then it becomes faster. And you can seal coat a lot faster. Like you said, your road's ready. I guarantee you can throw that road in 2 days. While we're prepping over there, we can go and throw your road.
I mean, it's a lot faster when you use the chip seal spreader. And we
Oh, yeah.
use a lot less rock.
Yeah.
Because when you use that box,
Yeah,
you
the boxes, you got to really know what you're doing with the box.
se
and-
te
and
va
you gotta have
the
a good
rock,
operator in that-
and you
in that
lose
truck.
rock.
But the chip spreader is working excellent right now. They came in, adjusted everything. So now it goes just like it's supposed to. So like I'm saying, now you spray your road and you get done in a heartbeat.
Commissioner,
And then you move to the next one.
on that book that I gave all y'all, that manual, that's an actual manual that they send the inspectors for TxDOT. So that tells you the rock landing rate and all that. It has nothing but good information in there. And if y'all do decide on this, that one operator, I would suggest we send them to a school.
Yeah. And that's what we plan to do, because
One foreman.
like for instance, when you brought that maintainer operator, we send one of my younger guys in there, and man, he left that class, he got certified, and he was like super awesome. That kid picked it up real good, and he's driving the maintainer every day now, and it worked out great. So I'm all for taking these people to educate them and train them. It works great. We don't know. I don't know, and none of us know exactly how it's supposed to. You have a lot more experience in this than we do, but it's unfortunate that we don't have the training yet. And I'm sure you'll bring it like you brought everything else. But
Well, we have the
have to have
training
that.
for the
We have to have
truck.
Well, it's not actually, it's not the
yeah,
training
it was
of
just to use the truck, but to prep, to
It's
prep
not the training of the distributor
piece.
operator, it's the training of the supervisor, which he in turn is knowledgeable with everything.
knowledgeable, because
He
regardless-
knows how to set your drop rate, which is your rock landing rates. He knows how to
And you're
set-
exactly right. And on a learn as you go gets too expensive, and
It's
you can't afford to
expensive.
do that. You can't.
And do that, right? Learning as you go is very expensive with all that rock. It's cheaper to hire out a third party.
At some point, yeah, but for me, it works because y'all are talking a language that I cannot afford. And I don't think you're talking a language that none of us can afford. We just need to, make sense of our budgets and see where we can come up with monies that we can all work with. Because it's real simple to say, okay, I'm gonna prep 10 miles and
But that's
spread it. I'm not gonna have enough money to buy the,
No, you can
The
only do
rock
a
nor the
mile at a
oil.
time or
Yeah.
2 miles.
see, so I think none of us are gonna have enough money to seal coat 10 miles a year. Because the rock is very expensive and the oil is very expensive.
Well,
So, and then you get your crews involved, it becomes an expense.
Well, the advantage that we have, Margie and myself here, is that we have the trash collection, so we get a little extra revenue. So the trash collection, so we get a little extra revenue, and then I transfer all that money there. But yes, we can, because we did 2, 4, maybe we're 6. By the time we're all said and done, maybe 7 miles, 8 miles, and so it's just a matter of, like Margie says, you're not going to be able to do 10 miles on one shot. And I agree with you. You can't do 10 miles on one shot. You can't prep that many miles in one day. And you got to do it in sections. Because like right now, what we did 440, we did it in sections. We cut it up, the worst parts, we tore them up, and then we fixed it. Now we got to go back and seal coat the whole thing. But no, you can't go with a zipper and tear
10
5, 6
miles
miles.
or
You
5
can't.
miles.
That'd be ridiculous, because if you get bad weather like we did last year, you're going to be shot. And
You have
you're
to
gonna
do a
some
mile at
angry
a time.
People at you. But you do it in sections, probably no bigger, longer than
Than
a
a mile.
mile max. Get that out of the way and then go. And that's what I told my supervisor. We're no longer going to do anything more than a mile. That's it. And then so we take care of it, cover it, and just go. So that way we get that done.
Well, I like your idea. I wish I could afford it. But you say that your plans are to help out the smaller budgets, it says.
Yeah. No, I don't have a problem using personnel. I don't have a problem using personnel. Like,
Oh, well,
said, like-
personnel,
like what I'm saying is when you have your people that run the equipment, I'd rather not too many people run the machine because it gets costly, like Mr. Sosa said, to operate it. You made a mistake, you broke something, you didn't cover something, it's gonna get expensive. Utilize those same people to use it at all times and we can get stuff done. I mean, we could put it easy, if you can afford to go out for bids, we could easily apply for the bid, Mr. Guerra. Would that be okay? If Mr. Garcia goes out for bids to Silco Road, we'd like to put a bid in there. Huh, Margie? We could put a bid on Mr. Garcia's road.
what's that?
When you go out for bids to Silco Road, me and Margie like to apply for it and we put our people to work.
Well, gets cheaper if everybody would seal coat, there are a few roads. I know that I used the machine for the first time last year with the help of Carlos. Took us 4 weeks to do 4.5 miles. Like insane. Bought about $120,000 worth of material. I did 7 miles for 128,000.
Well, we
It's
did,
like-
we did,
It was
that's what
like,
happens when you have breakdowns and stuff like that, bad weather, whatever. We did 4 miles and we did it in 2 days,
yeah,
But it
you
costs,
you know?
it costs
It all
about
depends what happens if you break
25
down.
to 32,000 a mile of rock and oil.
what's that?
That's how much it costs
32,000 per.
per mile, between 25 and 32.
So if you do 10 miles, you're gonna
Yeah,
use $300,000 out of your budget.
Well, that's why I can't afford it.
You see, that's what I'm talking about. It's a,
I mean, we cannot do 10 miles a year.
so if you can't afford it, then why would you want to keep the machine 7 months?
okay,
Are you asking me?
Well,
Both of y'all, if y'all saying you can't afford to seal coat 10 miles,
Well,
Well,
y'all
then why
can,
would you wanna
y'all
keep
have
the
a
machine
bigger
10
budget than
months?
I do.
well, you got,
But the only reason you're keeping it is because you have it at the end of the year, so it's already gonna start getting cold, and then the whole beginning of the first year is cold. So that's the only reason you have it, so you didn't have to transport it from here to there, and then the next person would take their turn.
there's not a single piece of equipment that we all have within our precincts that we utilize every single day. None. The shredders last year, I didn't run them since October up to, we just started shredding grass the other day. The only thing that we use is the trash truck twice a week. Everything else, nothing gets used every single day. My maintenance doesn't get used every single day. Nothing gets used every single day. So I just can't see how you would want to keep equipment for 7 months and you're not going to use every single day. But if you go with the system that I'm introducing, then you would use it every single day, everywhere, at every single precinct. So you will produce more.
Well, I think, I didn't know it was 50 degree and then up. I always heard that it had to be in the heat of the summer.
He's talking cold weather, exactly right.
It's
And
in
Yeah,
that
I didn't know
binder.
that.
It's in
we,
that binder.
we always thought it was 65, but if you have rainy season, you can't do anything.
Yeah.
So you, like Mr. Garcia says, December, January should be out of the question because it's bad weather. You don't see the highway department doing it on that weather. They're utilizing the
there's
summer.
a reason.
Yeah.
You know.
Why
But
the
this year
state,
they did. This year they weren't.
And look at the mess they made. They're right there, it's a business 281 in front of the auction barn.
Oh, I
That
don't
was a
know.
level
God.
up. That was a level up, but they had a brand new maintainer operator.
It was a mess.
That's why the level up was
Because
like
I know
that.
over there by Texas Rig Service, they worked during January, but it wasn't cold in January. It didn't get
Yeah,
cold
but
till February.
and then they use different types of oil. I mean, there's a lot of reasons,
You
but
have that one
really,
oil that
the text dot calendar from May through September. That's their calendar. There might be some exceptions, but they start seal coating in May, and at the end of September, that's when they stop.
That's for the contract labor, Ventura,
Yeah.
not for the maintenance.
So for
as
the
long
main,
as
for
the
the maintenance,
temperature
that's
is there, we
different,
can
but
use
like
it.
what we're talking about is
Yeah.
the seal coating,
Well, that's what, well, a seal coat is actually over an existing pavement. Surface treatment is on where you just
Base,
did a base,
To do a base.
Yeah, you know what I found out when I seal coated like in November, because it started raining. In June, my asphalt started bleeding. I had to get some ice rock and pour over it. And then the following year was, it cured. But if you do it in cold weather, it start bleeding. All those cars are going to get all that tar on them, especially on the intersections.
And now, mind you, that, Mr. Garcia, Mr. Sosa, that you're saying the weather's got to be 65. Ground temperature's got to be 65.
Ambient temperature. It's
Right.
read that manual right there.
So-
I gave you all.
That makes a difference. It could be 65 there, but if we've had days that were in the 40s, the ground's still cold.
I know that
And it's a
asphalt,
high risk to be able to do that.
you get 100-degree temperature in June, it's going to bleed, right? Especially in the intersections where cars stop. It's going to bleed.
That's
You
because
gotta
of
see
your
that
base,
asphalt right there.
Commissioner, because your base is when you start getting that flushing, and the reason you get bleeding is the excess oil.
Oil.
You put too much oil.
Well, I see it in the state highways also.
Because they have inspectors, and the inspector's not doing his job. Then
Yeah,
the
Just look at a
contractor-
state highway, when you get to an intersection, like in the 100 degrees, stop sign, you'll see it.
Mhm.
Once they take off, you'll see the tracks.
That's a bit, because that's a base
Yeah,
failure. It's going down.
And I don't know, it just, but coming back to the, rotation, I'm all for anything that's,
So but my question is, okay, like, when they're gonna be working on it, our own people can do the rolling and the broom, right? Like, we
That's
just
something
need.
you do the prepping.
No, no,
Like
no.
yours is prepped right now.
But when you
get
put
the
out
crew
the
to go
seal
shoot.
coat, then you have to sweep
Sweep
it
it,
and roll it, right? So,
Yeah, but the same guy that drives the truck is not going to be in the truck. Put him in the sweeper. Same guy is going to be on the chip spreader, or the chip spreader is going to be the sweeper, and the same guy is going to be in the dump truck. What's going to drive the dump truck? It's going to drive the oil truck. So he's a CDL driver. That's what I'm saying. So you're going to use
There's
this
a
guy
proper-
does two things. This guy
There's a
does two
proper
things.
technique for rolling with a pneumatic roller. There's a proper technique for that. If like Ventura said, you see the flushing like that, it's, underinflated tires, overinflated tires, there's a proper technique for rolling. You gotta get, and then after that, sweeping, that operator can go too hard on it, or he can go
pick
not
up the
enough.
rock, yeah.
So all this needs to be a one person that is trained to observe all this, or what we're gonna do, so what we've been doing is just throwing money away, because that, we are gonna get potholes back. It looks pretty, we're gonna get potholes back, we're gonna end up getting flushing, we're gonna get bleeding, because the persons are not, they don't just, they don't care. We have to have somebody, one guy responsible for that, not all different foremen, because some guys may be having to, I gotta go do another job somewhere, you know? That's my thing is, man, at least consider consolidating,
So the only thing that we're gonna move is those two pieces of equipment with two people. And then when they come to Orange Grove, then, we use my equipment, which is the dump truck, the roller, the sweeper, everything. And then I furnish a flagger and whoever else. And then when they're finished with that mile or whatever, then they're gonna go over here to Mr. Ventura, and then he'll have his sweeper, his roller.
if you
his-
got everything, just go and do that.
and you guys are real close to each other, like me and Margie are, right?
Yeah,
So we don't have a problem sharing the equipment. We have to. It doesn't matter.
yeah, but I
The
mean,
point is, the oil distributor is the one that we need the most to be moved around.
okay.
And the chip spreader, yes, it's a little harder to move around, but we can work with that. It's the main issue here is for that truck and that chip spreader not to be parked.
never
It
should
gotta
be idle.
It gotta be moving at all times.
My next thing is a budget item thing. So if my guy is gonna go work on Ventura's Road for a week, Ventura's gonna pay my guy?
Why?
Why not?
He's in a unified road system crew he works under you. Why would you want to change that?
Because why am I gonna be paying him if
Well,
mean, it's like-
that's what I'm talking about, Margie.
It's
It
like,
doesn't
well-
work for me and you because our small budgets, we don't have that excess monies to hire two extra people. You understand what I'm saying? I wish I
mean,
could.
I don't
I
mind
wish
my
I
guy
could.
going to drive and do your road and do her road, but I feel like if my guy's gonna be going to the different, and I don't see why it couldn't come out of, like, if your guy is at my precinct and my guy is in my precinct, well, I'm paying for my guy, but I'll pay for your guy for that week. because he's doing whatever piece of equipment that he's gonna be,
I
he's
don't
gonna
see
be
why you would
educated
wanna-
on.
I don't have, I wouldn't want to pay for your guy. Just bring him over, use him. It's for the county. It's the same thing. It's
Well, Ventura, when you have a small budget, I have to take care of my nickels and dimes.
Well, that's what I mean, you know.
well, we all have a small budget.
We just talking about, you know.
No, we don't.
If he can use
We all have a
his,
small budget.
he's talking about using his personnel. Cause,
I mean, and I don't see anything wrong with it.
With what?
Uh,
Oh, I mean, I don't, that's what makes the world go around. I'll pay it. It don't matter to me. But the thing is, I don't feel that we have to.
I mean,
Because
I
regardless,
don't
you guys
mind
are gonna be
paying
working.
whoever's gonna work in my precinct.
I believe what Ventura's saying is that his budget wouldn't allow for him to pay for somebody coming from your department or somewhere else. He already has, the amount of people for his budget. He wouldn't have the money available.
Okay, well, let me ask Mr. Garcia this question.
But he's gonna pay for
Let me
seal
ask Mr. Garcia
coating.
this question. Would Mr. Garcia, would you participate in sharing the equipment
yeah,
and using the seal coating machine and all that?
you know,
Or is it cheaper for you to go out for bids?
right now it depends on the year. I've been last 3 years. Guess what? I've still coated 32 miles. And an average of about under $2. You know,
So that's what I'm saying. Is it because he's not tearing any roads? We're tearing roads, and I'm sure she's gonna tear some roads.
yeah. Well, I'd like to
Here-
tear
his is
some down,
faster.
but really and truly, you know, my deal is like right now. I'm 2 months into those small dams. You know, I stopped my whole operation. You know, because without emergencies, I'm out there 2 months out of the year for $33,000. See, I wear and tear my equipment for 2 months in those 30-foot levees, the fence lines that I have to trim, the spillways that have 200 acres that I have to mow in each. I do about 3 dams a year. You know, you think $33 gets it? My equipment gets pounded, you know, and then I lose 2 months out of the year working on my roads and stuff, you know. So it's I'm not saying that I've complained because I've done it for a long time, but you know, Noe can tell you, but every year, Noe, you know, it's a struggle.
Yes.
It's a big struggle.
And I understand that, Mr. Garcia. That's why I'm asking you, is it even worth you participating in this? Because you could probably just seal coat your roads because it's just a seal coat, not a prep and double.
Well, you
I'm
know,
calling it seal coat, but it's
yeah, but the machine, I can use the oiler just to do my shoulders because I have a lot of shoulder work, you know, that needs to be actually, you know, worked on. You know, it's, you know, I could use it. Yeah, you know, I don't know if I could use it 2 months out of the year, but because you know, I couldn't afford to do it 2 months out of the year because I got other things to do.
I mean, if we all put one person, then it's even, you know, like we're all gonna pay for one and he's gonna go all the way around. But is that the way it's gonna be? We're all gonna put one person?
I don't have a problem with it. Because your main guys that you need is just the distributor and the chip spreader. That's it. The other guys can be anybody. It
But
could
no,
be a
but like
part-timer.
Roel was saying, no, we're gonna train a broomer and we're gonna train a roller so that,
A broomer.
well, you know, the sweeper.
You look that one up, Mr. Sosa.
The sweeper.
There would be the actual man that's gonna be in charge of that group.
Exactly.
You know, there has to be one captain, because you start getting precinct 1, precinct 2, precinct 3, there's gonna wanna be 3 guys that say, I'm the chief. There has to be one guy, you know, that is gonna answer to all the commissioners with dignity and respect, and it's gonna be biased. You know, he's gonna train his guys the proper way. You know, it doesn't take a scientist to learn this job, but once you learn it the right way, it's to practice them best practices and not get in shortcuts. Oh, it's almost time to get off of work and just want to just finish. Or another bad thing is if you lay that oil down, it gets cold. You can't throw rock over cold oil. You're wasting money, you know, and I've seen it happen before, you know. So you have to have one guy that's going to be the captain.
Like a foreman.
Well, but he could be a working foreman too.
Yeah.
A working foreman,
I'm
correct?
totally against having to bring anybody else in to create, I think we could do it with our own
Saying
people.
whoever
It
the,
doesn't change anything.
whoever's
Just
doing
train
the
the right
truck
person.
or-
Exactly like you said, but one of your guys has to be the chief, because you're gonna have too many guys wanting to be the chief. You have to have one guy, y'all gonna
The guy
designate.
operating the oil truck and the chip spreaders is the one in charge. He'd be the one in charge. He's the one that you can't find, you can't get. He's the one.
You know, you're gonna need about 10 people out there to do it safely.
Well,
course you
well,
are.
when you're
You know,
prepping, it's what takes everything. It's prepping.
When you're seal coating, you need 2 flaggers, a roller, somebody that sweeps, operate the oil distributor, and then the rock distributor. You got 10 people. You might be laughing about it, but when you start doing, that's what it's gonna take.
But I mean,
We use the same
that
person
group-
for a lot of issues. We like this, like the
You
guy in the
got-
sweeper
you
is the
got-
guy in the roller. The guy in the maintainer is the guy on the sweeper or the roller. The guy in the chip spreader is just the guy in the chip spreader. The guy in the oil truck's the old guy. That's it. Then we have 2 flag people. With the supervisors there.
there's
supervisor-
like maybe 5 or 6 people on the crew.
And then you're not doing it
Because-
very safely.
No. All right.
No,
Right, because,
I'm
no,
just
because you,
saying,
no, because
you
you got to
know.
remember, we're not doing 5-6 miles at a time. We're doing little sections, 100 yards, 50 yards, 20 yards, 30 yards, 50 yards, and that's what we're doing. But it's worked great for us.
Right now this is a discussion, ¿verdad?
Yeah.
And
That's why
right
we're
now, I
having
think that what's in the table is the rotation. In budget hearing, you take road and bridge, the pie of the whole road and bridge, and there you hired 3 or 4 people. And then, then it comes out from everybody. So something like that would be something that would work. But, but we're just throwing ideas out there. And for me right now,
Well, and where does TxDOT send their people to get
Buda, Texas.
trained? It's a schooling or what?
we already have them trained. It looks like just to refine them a little bit,
Well, it was like the maintainer class. Here we are thinking we got a great maintainer. He's doing great to our knowledge,
Yeah,
But
but then
yet we
they
get him
taught
trained, and you go like, oh my God, We got a new kid. He comes in here, makes the old guy look like, oh, I'm going to train you now because I got a class in this and I know. So you pick up a lot of more stuff that you might have never known about because you're actually doing it the correct way.
wouldn't it be like their actual team only be consist of maybe 4, and when they come to Orange Grove, I provide the flaggers,
Yeah, that's
I
what I'm saying.
provide whatever,
Because
because
the
otherwise
flaggers can be,
you have too much driving time for all these 10 people. They get
No,
paid
no,
for
no, no,
driving,
no.
and
no, everybody's got supply on people. The only thing is going to be that whether it's Margie's guy or my guy that operates the oil
Right.
truck and the distributor, and that's it.
Okay.
The guy in the sweeper, the guy in the flags can be practically anybody, as long as they're trained correctly.
see,
on
but
the
that's
flag.
where I'm getting, I spent, a lot of time out of my precinct. And then last year, spent 4 weeks trying to seal code 4 miles. And I had to use all my people. So for 4 weeks, I had to stop operation again, wow, something's wrong here. So it's what works for you guys doesn't really work for me. That's the bottom line. And, and to Margie, she can make sense of it. But, anyway,
I think it'd be good. This way, just keep on just moving.
Because that keeps the equipment
do it.
going. And we can try it. Well, we got rain coming in with Wednesday. We can play by ear here, but watch. I can set the point. We can
We
fix it
probably
or shoot
can't.
a road. Huh?
It rained too much in that area. We probably
did?
can't.
Well, bless your heart, because you needed it. We needed the rain. That's what I was going to say. Well, you're not going to be ready because if we get more rain Wednesday, it's shot. We're prepping right now. Well, it was already prepped, and we're just touching it up. And I can just jump real quick from there over there, and we'll do it, and then I'll jump back. I don't have.
I know that the guys went to go roll it again because, like, Roel said, what do we need to put on it to prep it to, so that we don't lose it? Because it was already,
That's
did
where
you go check 147, Roel?
I've been out there. That's where you need to do your surface treatment. You just get like Commissioner he has used ash rock. He knows what it is. You get your MC10, lay it out, and then chase it with ash rock, which is your number 5, your tiny little rock. All that does is give you a time, an open window, so you can come back a week, 2 months later.
Yeah, but you still haven't used
Traffic
it.
can get on it, and you're not creating all this dust. You're not creating all this washout from the rain.
But you still having to use the same equipment, right?
Yes, but
So you're defeating. If you're gonna have the equipment there, you might as well just shoot it. You know, unlike me, where last year, like I said, we prepped the road 2 miles. We had rain, and if it wasn't raining, we got people stuck. 20-some cars were stuck. Then we had the dust. People complaining because the dust was flying all over. In the meantime, I'm waiting for this. I waited 7 months. Like, oh, this isn't gonna work. It'll never work. Because if you're not prepping roads every single day, then you're not doing. What are you
Road
doing?
work, yeah.
Because we're road and bridge. So if we're not doing road and bridge, what are we doing? You know, it's like I said, my people are all separated. We got different divisions and everything, and we produce every single day on every department. It works great for me. And that's just in Ben Bolt. The people in Fremont are doing the same thing. So once we go, we're working on the roads constantly every day. The road crew's working on roads, brush crew's working on brush every day, bulk trash is working every day, household trash is twice a day, cutting grass every day. The fence lines are being cut every single day, all at the same time.
and you're taking away from y'all's missions. You're taking away from that, having to have everybody operating the equipment also. When you can continue doing y'all's daily
Yeah.
duties.
So I won't take my people away from everywhere to go do this. No, everybody's over there. The road crew's doing road work, and that's it. Everything else still keeps going.
That's because you have a big
Area.
you have Fremont and you have Green Acres, but like here we only have Alice. Over there we only have the airfield. It's,
And I'm doing it with less people than what I had when I came in here. We had 32 when I came in. We got about 25 right now.
you have dedicated people now.
Big difference.
Yeah, I only have 5.
But a lot more, less miles.
Actually, if you would put the small dams into perspective, I would probably have another 75 miles. If you were to put the small dams in the same category as road and bridge, then, I would be talking a different language. But, there's at least 1,000 acres of spillway, about maybe 10 miles of fence line. Levees are about 3 or 4, 5, miles per dam. Go to the San Diego Creek. We just did it. Clean, I don't know if you know where the San Diego Creek is okay. We just did it. We mowed it, mowed the creek and all the spillways. It takes a lot of time and a lot of money and a lot of effort. It's to the point to where, how long can a person do it? It's like sometimes I surprise myself sometimes.
Okay, we need to get back to, what do we want to do? We want to go ahead and do the road crew, and we're going to each put in a person.
I'm not gonna put in a person, let's put it that way.
What's your motion?
Well,
There's no motion.
If we go ahead and go with creating a road crew between all 4 precincts.
Me and you are gonna get out of budget to start off with.
Who is?
But you'll hit your stuff. Like, you don't seal coat every single day. You'll seal coat whatever you can, and you're done. I'm not gonna seal coat every day. When I'm done, I'm done. I'm out of money. I'm out of money. Renee's the same thing. Margie, the same thing. You're gonna seal coat and you're out of money. That's it. You can't do any more. You can only do so much. Even if you had the machine all year long, you're not gonna be able to.
Yes, when I have the machine all year
So
long.
how are you
I
gonna do it if
use-
you don't have money?
well,
How are you
because-
gonna be able to do it
Because
all
we
the time?
just use recycled asphalt and oil to do the patching of the potholes.
Yeah, I don't know if using recycle on that machine is a good thing.
Yeah.
Uh,
What?
Oh,
recycle.
You don't use in the machine. No, you use
Oh,
the
okay.
wand. It has a wand and you spray it and then you hot oil
Okay.
and you use recycle.
Thought you were putting it on the distributor. It says,
Yeah.
who would the supervisor be for this crew?
Person in
Be-
charge.
Would it be the judge and it's gonna be a county-wide thing? Would it be, I mean, who? I just,
Judge.
Yeah, that was my question too. Who do they report? Is the supervisor gonna be, let's see,
if it's gonna be the judge, then the judge would be,
are each of you designating one person to be on this crew
Knowing-
when necessary? Or are you creating 4 new positions? What are you doing?
Just designate one person from every precinct.
And whenever a project is ready, then
That your crew gets together and goes and does the
you
seal
report to
coating.
the project.
Yeah.
And among those 4, who's the supervisor gonna be?
The guy operating the seal coat machine, distributor.
oh, well.
He's your main guy.
He has to leave to go get oil, right?
Yeah, but you leave orders. I mean, we don't have our supervisors every location with the guys at all times. You leave your orders done. They know what to do. They're gonna know what to do. They're gonna do their work. Go
I
get
mean,
the oil.
it
come back.
can't be the oil distributor guy because yeah, he leaves.
Or the chip spreader guy, whatever.
Maybe
Just
the chip spreader guy.
Chip spreader guy is there all the time, you know.
But you don't have to be there all the time. You know what to do. The guys they know what to do, so let's get it done.
That's
Guy
when
goes
a
and
lot of
gets-
shortcuts happen is when the chief leaves, then, you know, people take shortcuts. I mean, who would be ultimately responsible for that crew?
I don't have a problem with the supervisor in that precinct being the one. What do you want done? This right here? Okay, go see it. Ruben knows what he's doing. My guy knows what he's doing. Ventura's guy knows what he's doing. He knows what about the chill code. Your guy knows. Get it ready. Let's go. You're gonna supervise the work. That's all you gotta do. He's in that precinct. He wants what he wants. Gets it done. Operators operate the machinery and get it done.
When the distributor is on his way to Corpus and he's in line and they don't get back for like 3 hours,
Well, that's where.
then what does the other people do?
That's where the commissioner or the supervisor has to set everything right. You don't want to, we planned first thing in the Monday morning, 8, go get oil. We're not doing anything because we don't want the guys waiting for the truck. Because it takes 5-6 hours before you get back. So you say, okay, we're going to be back by 12. We're not going to start till 12. I tell my guys, don't start work. Don't let the guys come into work till 10 o'clock in the morning because you're going to bring them in at 7. They're going to spend 3 hours waiting on a truck. No.
But did you know that
Either
you
that or
could
do
get
something
a?
else. Huh?
My guys were saying something about Bobby Oaks. He rents from the oil company a tanker, and it saves you from.
Yeah,
Transport?
that would be something else to look into, but
That's for
because
big
that's what kills
projects.
you. You spend a lot of time there, and you only do what is it, Margie? With a truckload, you only do like half a mile, something, not even half a mile.
Maybe a little, almost half a mile.
Depending on if you do it double or whatever.
That's perfect right there, half a mile.
And then you have to take off again to go get.
You see, when you're seal coating a road, let's say you're Margie seal coating one for Margie, well then she's prepping another one, and if she's ready by the time before we leave, go do it. Maybe I'm not ready, or maybe you're not ready. We jump and keeps it going, and you don't have to worry about okay, park the truck, let's go do this, and then go get the oil. It just takes too much time. It's a lot easier to have
So
just
you're gonna be
somebody
prepping half a mile at a time?
whatever it takes. I have a lot of sections, so we'll cut them and we fix them. And you're doing little 50 yards, 20 yards, 30 yards, you've seen them. And you just go in and whenever you're ready, you say, okay, I got enough material here. I got my material in. I already paid the oil. Go pick it up. You know what? We're starting Monday morning. It's Friday. Started Monday morning. Monday morning starts 7 o'clock. Boom, let's go. It's ready. You throw everything.
That's another reason you do the surface preparation, is it buys you time, so when it's time to seal coat, to actually put the seal coat over the surface treatment, you have time, the road's not gonna go to waste with traffic dusting it up and all that, you know. And that one distributor will do a mile because you're not throwing a thick coat, you're throwing a light coat for your ash rock. All you're doing is making a seal, initial seal.
So the surface treatment's done by the
By the
distributor?
same truck.
Yes, you need a distributor, yes, ma'am.
So what if they're, using it on doing the roads? Then we only have one truck. Right?
This is not,
Sorry? I can't drink cold water, get up.
But can we use the same oil distributor to throw out that
Yes,
other
ma'am.
oil?
Yes, ma'am, because everybody here is using emulsified water-based. We're not using no oil-based, because you need oil-based, then you're gonna have to get you a hazmat. You know, we're not using that, we're using the same thing TxDOT does, is the universal, the HFRS2, which is winter, summer, I mean, it's all season oil. You know, it's emulsified, it's water-based. You can use it to fog seal, like you see some parking lots, they'll go throw it on there when it's already getting, it makes it look black. You can use it to fog seal, you can use it for all kinds of applications. That's why the truck should never be stopped. That's why we should have one foreman being able to move around and assist everybody. You start getting these alligator cracks, you got somebody that can go shoot oil all on it, at least to preserve it for another year or 2 years, instead of being reactive, oh, I gotta rip it all out now.
Because when you have alligator cracks, you need to seal coat, right?
Well, seal coat is just a patch for it, actually.
Actually, they don't even highly recommend it. Once you have that real bad alligator cracks, you need to tear it out. Your
You
base
have
is
to get
already.
it out, but to buy you time, you go ahead and you throw.
Yeah, it's like, you're gonna have that zipper, really.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, so that's really the best way to do it. If you're gonna seal coat,
Like, for instance,
reclaimer,
Yeah.
and then you seal coat. Reclaimer's gonna refine it, compact it, water it real good, compact it, and then seal coat it. Then you're gonna have a real.
You bring a good point, Mr. Garcia. Last year we did a little section here in Alice, and they did the prep, and we came in, one little afternoon, we shot it, and we were left. And they had already prepped, they had the zipper, they tore it up, they packed it, they rolled it, they waited, they did it. We just came and seal coated from, vámonos. It took us an hour on the scope, and we're gone. And we go somewhere else. It's a lot, you'll produce a lot more.
Mr. Guerra, and who would be like to supervise that one guy? What's gonna happen is everybody's gonna want that.
You don't need a supervisor. Your supervisors are your foremen. We all have foremen. That's your foreman for that
The
project.
supervisor, the driver, whoever it may be.
No,
He's gonna be the worker also, not just the
Yeah,
supervisor.
pero Mr. Garcia, we have foremen. You have it for Victor and Ruben. And so you're the supervisor. You're the one in charge. You're going to oversee the project. You're going to go through it. We don't need to have another supervisor. We don't. You can have a project manager, if you want to so call him, or whatever. That's fine. But your supervisors are supervisors in that precinct. He oversees it. You don't need anybody else. We don't.
That's
need
when
to
you
hire
start
him. We don't
getting
need to bring
everybody.
anybody else.
That's
Nothing
when you
needs to
start
change.
getting
You just
everybody
put
say,
your
well,
people
you
to
don't do it this way and get done this way.
What are they-
Well, this is the way to do it. And that's why you have to
We
have
can have
one.
that extra. And another employee. Anyway,
Well,
I'm here to, whatever y'all want to do, it's fine with me.
I mean, I know that it's a good, to save our equipment and the best thing would be to send them to get educated too, because so they can know exactly and not just be a learning process, which is, we've gotten a little bit of education, but it's still a learning process for us. And of course, like you say, because we saw it, you waste a lot of rock because that chip seal spreader was always breaking. So we would have to use the box and a lot of rock. As much as you try to, with the handle, try to keep the coordinated, still you lose a lot of rock. That we're having to sweep up a lot of rock and stuff. And like Roel says, we never had looked at it. We don't have that education to know that when you have excess rock, it's throwing out the other rock, pushing it out and making
Cavity.
cavities to have your potholes again. Where some people think it has a lot of rock,
It
that's
looks
good.
beautiful.
It looks, yeah.
Oh, yeah, it looks beautiful when you
That's-
got all
that
that
was
rock.
some of
And
the,
then cars to go by and 2
mentality
days
that
later,
a lot
oh
of
my
rock
God,
is
what
good,
happened?
which is not.
Yeah, you have to use distributed about 90, like a certain amount per square yards. And you're supposed to set your machine to distribute that rock.
And it is faster to use the chip
Your,
seal
your,
spreader.
your book I gave you all, it all has all that in there. How to calibrate it, your chutes, how to,
Even like the oiler, you're supposed to do it like at 0.30 uh, per 100 square yards.
well, it depends on what you're actually shooting into it, because if
Yeah,
you
Type of
different
oil.
size of rock,
So you can set the machine at the point that you want.
yes, if you go with a
And
small
I
rock,
don't
you
know if
shoot
that's what
less.
y'all are doing or not,
Yes.
but you're supposed to be able to do that.
And I know Mr. Pinion with
Victor,
Victor Pinion, like he would help the guys
Yeah, that's
as
good.
far as,
Evidently, I've seen some of the roads, they're you're doing a pretty good job, actually. I've seen some of the ones that you've done, and actually, we're getting a lot better at it.
Yeah.
Just the problem is, it's only so much money comes into road and bridge. That's the bottom line, and that's not gonna change. Because that's what road and bridge, by 5,000 to 5 million per year. No, that's the size of the pie. That's the size of the pie, guys. So, my pie is not gonna get any bigger. Yours is not gonna get any bigger, but it's just,
well, what we're really trying to do is what's best for the taxpayers' dollars and
County.
for the county, is if we want to try the road crew and it works, I mean, good.
yeah, I'm all for it. I just, I just don't have enough budget right now. Sometimes, I could certainly, from time to time send somebody, with my dump truck, like you're saying, like I got a dump truck that would hook up to the distributor.
And that's fine. I mean, a dump truck is fine, maybe.
Stuff like that,
Just-
but, very limited
I
for
don't have a
manpower.
problem with that.
I mean, that's my deal.
Okay, so we're gonna make a motion to go with a road crew. And
A
we'll,
chip seal road crew, Margie, what do we call it?
and we'll all work together to make this road crew.
Chip seal road crew? With every precinct
Every foreman is a supervisor for that.
and at least one personnel from every precinct.
And every person that works for you is gonna eat from you, even though they're over there. You're gonna be responsible for your employees.
Yes.
So I make a motion that we go ahead and create a road crew.
I second it.
I'm not too sure that I agree with it, I just like to see we can create it until budget hearings and see where we're at the time. We can create it for 2-3 months, see how it works.
Yeah,
You know,
see how it goes.
Y'all have had a very good discussion here and, talked through a lot of the issues. But there are gonna be things that come up that we haven't thought about here.
Right.
So, but there's no, right now is the time to work. It's May, the summer months are coming up.
Yeah.
Give it a shot, make notes as we go through, let's see what the problems are. And then during the budget workshops in August, you can figure out a long-term plan, but until you put it into practice, you're not gonna see all there's gonna be little issues that come up.
Mhm.
It's a good idea, and I mean, it's a good idea, and but there are gonna be things that come up that we'll have to address at some point.
And there is no 100% proof that system's gonna be perfect. Like you said, we're gonna go through, we're gonna adjust some things and we'll change it, we'll fix them. but it's definitely something that's the more positive and it created a lot faster.
In the next 3.5 months, you figure out what the problems are, iron out those details, and when we come back for budget workshop, figure out if this is something that's working and we keep on going, maybe need some tweaking, or, hey, you know what, it didn't work out, we're gonna have to figure something else out. So it's a good start.
I don't think we should adopt it for long-term right now, you know, budget hearings, like you're saying, you know, we can experiment
This
with
is a
it.
trial.
Yeah, just trial.
Because,
And basically, it's just a
I'm
cooperative.
like, we're not gonna be seal coating every day, so I can probably send, a driver, you know, for a week or so and then come back, you know, but for right now, you know, it's just a trial basis, you know.
See how it works.
So let's go until the budget
Budget hearings.
hearings.
So that, you know, I'll
Okay,
second
so
your
you-
motion if you just, it's gonna be an experimental, period.
You wanna put an end date on it, like August 31st, September 30th?
No, we need to make a motion, yeah, like, before the end of the budget's year, be, by the end of July, by the end of August. That way we have September to, you know, if we have to work something into our budget. What do you think, Noe?
August 31st will be.
Yeah, because we adopt our budget on the 31st of September. And by then, we need to find out, you know, where we're at, you know.
So where do we go from right here?
Who's ready to get seal coat?
Well, I have a road.
Okay,
Who's the first project?
Okay, no, I got 6/10 of a mile in one road and then like 4/10. So if you're ready, let me know when you're ready. We'll swing by there real quick. You got the rock already and everything? As soon as that truck is empty, we'll go and we'll go do yours and we'll see, we'll try it.
We're working on
As
303.
weather permitting.
You
and
have a
everything.
road ready, Renee?
Almost.
So there's a motion and a second. All in favor indicate by saying aye.
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 All approve, all against, same sign now. Okay, the ayes have it. You all figure it out, we shall,
Okay.
and see what you all, you know, see, hopefully, we don't want to get into a situation, guys, where we're all over, you know, we can't get along anymore.
Mhm.
You understand what I'm saying? Like, no, but he had it. We want to solve those problems before August, and then we can move on. Anyway, motion to adjourn.
I'll second it.
Thank you all.
There's a motion and a second. All in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
All against, same sign.